Simmons, partner at Lightswitch, and she's also a speaker in the ESX conference program. Kristen, thanks for spending some time with us.
Great to be here.
Kristen was first introduced to the ESX audience last year when she gave a presentation on the customer experience. And we're bringing her back again this year, only for a super session, so that she's got 2 whole hours to talk through that with folks. People were very interested, and we wanted to give you a little more time to ask questions and to chat with her about why it's so important in the industry. Kristen, could you first start by telling me what exactly is the customer experience, and how does that differ from customer service?
Great question, and we do get that a lot. The customer experience, the way we define it, is just simply looking at every single interaction that your company has with a customer. And when you think about it, I mean, there are thousands of interactions. So for a security company, it could be everything from how easy is it to read the bill that comes in the mail, or did the technician, put booties on their shoes when they walked into the house. But it's all these little things that you don't always think about that contribute to the overall experience. Now, customer service is a huge part of that, because a lot of the treatment that you get as a customer comes through customer service and that service ethic, which is really very strong for a lot of security companies. But the important thing is to look at everything, because customer service tends to be more reactive, right? We're only doing customer service when somebody got in touch with us and needs us. But the customer experience is all the stuff that happens when we're not paying attention. All the stuff that's happening when the customer's at home wrestling with their system, or it's beeping in the night, or they're calling the monitor, the monitoring center's in touch, etc. So it's the bigger picture. Right.
So in other words, your company's sending a ton of messages that you don't even really think about all the time. It's not just those branded super mass marketing messages, but it's also those messages that your operator is giving, or the unspoken words that your technician is given as they're installing the system in someone's home.
That's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head.
So how is the session going to differ from the session last year, now that it's a little bit longer?
Great. I'm glad you asked that, because that's something that I was just saying to some colleagues. I've spoken at a few of these things, and we want to get past the basics,
Exactly.
Talking about the customer experience and hearing about that is one thing, but being able to really put it into action for your business is something else entirely. So the goal of this super session is to really turn it into a work session, so that the latter half is all about bringing home ideas that are right for you and your business. So we'll go through some different exercises. You'll even have your choices and things that you want to prioritize, that are most relevant to you about the session, and then have some time to work through them on your own and come up with some nice quiet time to say, all right, what are the points of this that resonate the most with me? Where do we need the most help at our company? What can I write down on paper? Because anything that you write down, you're much more likely to do in real life, to take back with you and take action with.
Right. So what are a couple of the takeaways that if you get all the messages across, you hope people will leave this session with?
Well, I really want people to leave the session with 2 or 3 things that they're going to actually do. I think the key, from a message standpoint, one of the key things is if you're not already committed to getting great customer feedback, is to be committed to that, because it all begins with listening, and there's so many different ways that you can get feedback from your own customers. The obvious kind of customer surveys, but talking to your own employees who are frontline employees. Do you ever talk to the folks in the monitoring center that are on the phone with your customers, or do you talk to your technicians and ask them what are they seeing out there? Mystery shopping, pretending to be your own customer, you can do that at times. So there are lots of ways to get close to the feedback. So I would say that's one key message, is just getting people to say, if they don't already, this is really important stuff. And then the second thing, of course, is just acting on that to improve your customer experience, or even just thinking creatively beyond what your customers are telling you to say, how can we improve things? How can we do that little extra something that is going to set us apart from our competition?
Right, because to actually do this successfully, you really have to implement it in your entire business plan. Because it's not just, we're going to do a customer survey and when we get the feedback, try to, change things a little bit. It's implementing it at every level.
Exactly. You want to really have that strategy. So the more that you can take a look at your entire operation, you can't do everything at once. We're only human. But the opportunity to prioritize, and like you said, kind of put in place a strategic plan that says, these are the key things that we're going to need to do over the longer term, to improve things. But also, it always feels really good when you can say, oh, here's a few things that we can just saw off and do right now. Get the employees, patting themselves on the back and feeling like this is the go.
Sure. If you'd like to register for Kristen's class, you can go to www.esxweb and check out her super session. Thanks so much for spending time with us, Kristen.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.